Cinemaniacs, I saw Steve Jobs last night. I slept on it, digested it. My review will be right after this. What's up, Cinemaniacs? I am back, and who am I? I am Shane Moore, and who is Shane Moore? Shane Moore, you can find him at facebook.com/the CineBros, and you can also find me at youtube.com/the Movie House Maniacs. Be sure to follow and subscribe to both of those locations. Now, Steve Jobs is a movie directed by Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle brought us movies like 127 Hours, Trainspotting, and Slumdog Millionaire. So yes, he's a good director. Great vision. Now, the more important part of this is that this movie was written by Aaron Sorkin. He is a brilliant mind. If you don't know who that is, look him up. Brilliant writer. And this movie stars Michael Fassbender, who is a very talented actor, and it just goes to show that it's more important to get a very good actor than having someone look like the character they're portraying. Because Michael Fassbender looks nothing like Steve Jobs, but you forget about that real quick. This cast was star-studded. You had Kate Winslet, Jeff Daniels, and Seth Rogen. I named these three because each one of them might get an Oscar nomination for their roles in this movie. I'll start off with Kate Winslet as Joanna Hoffman. Kate Winslet was captivating, and she delivered this really phenomenal accent that was really tough to do. And the only thing outdid her accent was her performance. She played Joanna Hoffman, who was quoted in the movie as being the work wife. I put that in quotations, I don't know. It's not really sarcastic or anything, but she was the work wife. Or she was like Steve Jobs' right hand, but he was ambidextrous, so she was the third hand? You also had Jeff Daniels, who did a really great job as John Scully. And John Scully was like a mentor, father figure / boss to Jobs. My only problem with Jeff Daniels' performance was that I felt like when he had some more of his high tension and more aggressive talks with Steve Jobs, he kind of felt like he slipped into that Harry character from Dumb and Dumber. It took me out of the film a little bit. I understand that I'm probably in the minority, but it did take me out of the film a little bit. With all that being said, he still did a great job, and you really felt that connection as that father figure / mentor / boss. I totally bought him as that father figure type. And lastly, Seth Rogen. And I'm going to put him last because he was one of my favorite parts in this movie as Steve Wozniak, aka the Woz. He was perfect. I loved his performance. I loved his back and forth with Steve Jobs. Their conversations, which you could tell they really cared for each other, but also had different ways of approaching things. And butting heads, but still respecting one another, was just amazing to watch. It was like watching two of the greatest tennis players ever, just boom, back and forth, back and forth. And when I say they have this great back and forth, boy, did they have a huge, epic back and forth discussion that was very heated and kind of public, and it was amazing to watch. And for those that you didn't know, this movie is the moments leading up to some very important product launches and all the stuff that happened right before he went on stage. The first one was the 1984 Mac. The second one was when he left Mac or got fired, and he was getting ready to launch in 1988 the next computer. And lastly, you get to see him in 1998 to launch the little thing called the iMac. And it cuts out right when he's getting ready to go on the stage. And Danny Boyle did an amazing job at just pulling you right into this movie where you were getting so fired up to go see Steve Jobs walk on stage. When it didn't happen, you were kind of like, I want to go on YouTube right now. I want to watch these product launches. I got to do this right now. But he quickly just brings you right back in with the next product launch. And it is amazing to watch. It was masterfully directed. And there are some hiccups that come along the way that he has to deal with. You get to see that Steve Jobs that you heard about, that very intense, that he wants it his way and he wants it done right now. It was truly amazing. There were times that I just wanted to jump out of my seat. Yes, this movie about Steve Jobs actually actually wanted me to jump out of my seat and either like start applauding, or other times where I was infuriated with Steve Jobs. And I got incredibly emotional and sad for the story that was never told before in the Jobs movie that Ashton Kutcher did, was the relationship with his daughter and his baby mama. The emotion meter was all over the board with this movie, especially when it came to a few people that he really cared about. I can't sing the praises of this movie enough. This movie was phenomenal. It was a great story, amazing performances. I was totally sucked in right from the get-go. That is why I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Yes, it ties for my highest rating of the year. This and Mad Max both get a 9 out of 10. But what I want to know is, what are some of your favorite biographical movies? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this review, click that little thumbs up button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like. Share it. Sharing's caring. And once again, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you have a great time at the movies this weekend.
If you watch the show on YouTube, please click that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.